When you think of old money families in the United States from the Gilded Age who've somewhat faded from the limelight, names like Carnegie might spring to mind. Andrew Carnegie transformed steel into gold, only to graciously give it away, ensuring that his descendants had to forge their own financial destinies rather than have it handed to them. Or consider the Goulds, whose patriarch Jay Gould masterminded a railroad empire through cutthroat tactics and controversial financial maneuvers, only to see his modern descendants unable to enjoy the vast fruits of his labor. But above all, the Vanderbilt family stands out the most, as a name both synonymous with eye-watering wealth and frustratingly ostentatious spending habits. Indeed, many descendants of the Vanderbilts have had to create their own luck, as it were. And yet, there is one corner of the family still demonstrating impressive financial acumen and shrewd business stewardship. In today's episode, we'll feature their story, detailing how they not only built America's largest private home, but how they've managed to keep it in the family for more than 125 years, as we describe, the modern Vanderbilts who own America's largest mansion. For many, the name Vanderbilt is synonymous with rags to riches back down to rags. But don't be fooled, there are still a few secret Vanderbilts running the show. Take the family's iconic Biltmore estate, for instance. Nestled in the rolling hills of Asheville, North Carolina, this Vanderbilt mansion is the largest private home in the United States to this very day. Built in the French Renaissance style between 1889 and 1895 by George Washington Vanderbilt II, this legendary estate sprawls across a jaw-dropping 8,000 acres, boasts 250 rooms, and has been appraised to be worth a jaw-dropping $300 million. Now, the Biltmore estate itself remains firmly in the Vanderbilt family's grip. Specifically, the descendants of George Vanderbilt II's grandson, William Amherst Vanderbilt Cecil. You see, following the deaths of William A. V. Cecil Sr. and his wife, Mimi Cecil, in 2017, their children, Bill Cecil Jr. and Deanie Pickering, took the reins. Born on the 17th of August 1928 in Asheville, Bill Cecil Sr. was the youngest son of Cornelia Vanderbilt Cecil and John Francis Amherst Cecil. After top-notch education in England and Switzerland and a British Navy stint during World War II, Cecil graduated from Harvard in 1952 before dipping his toes in finance with Chase Manhattan Bank. In 1957, he married Marie Mimi Ryan, a Wall Street lawyer and first cousin to none other than Jackie Kennedy Onassis. By 1960, the couple moved to Asheville with a mission, reviving the Biltmore estate and boosting tourism. And indeed, for the Vanderbilt legacy immortalized through the Biltmore, Cecil Sr. was the comeback kid, breathing new life into the estate. His team's hands-on approach, from creating marketing materials to taking brochure photos, turned the Biltmore into a profitable, beloved national treasure. By 1969, the estate turned its first profit in decades, putting Asheville on the map as a must-visit destination. And Mother Mimi Cecil was no mere spectator either. She offered contributions that were pivotal in the estate's success, providing both support and strategic insight that complemented her husband's efforts. However, their strongest addition to the Vanderbilt legacy may be that they continued the family line by having two equally talented children, William A. V. Cecil Jr., known simply as Bill, and Diana, or Deanie, Cecil Pickering. Today, Bill Cecil Jr. serves as the CEO of the Biltmore Company, while Deanie Pickering chairs the board, ensuring the estate's continued success and legacy. And yet, as we said in the beginning, everyone knows that there are many Vanderbilt family members who seemingly squandered their fortunes and disappeared into the back pages of history. How is it that this North Carolinian Cecil branch, if you will, managed to keep the legacy going while others faltered? In order to get our answer, we'll have to turn back the clock and explain exactly what happened to the other Vanderbilt heirs that precipitated the beginning of the end. In order to get the best understanding of exactly which sides of the family split and which ones endured, let's first go through a quick timeline of the Vanderbilt wealth and who got what, so to speak. Born into humble beginnings, the family originator Cornelius Vanderbilt, known as the Commodore, epitomized the self-made man who reshaped American enterprise. His journey from a rickety ferryboat operator to one of the wealthiest figures in history, with a fortune peaking at the equivalent of more than 100 billion in today's dollars, is a symbol of his relentless drive and shrewd financial acumen. And Cornelius Vanderbilt's frugality was as notable as his aggressive business strategies. While other magnates of his era indulged in lavish lifestyles, Vanderbilt preferred to invest in his enterprises and instill a stringent work ethic in his son, William Henry Vanderbilt. Despite initial skepticism about William's abilities, the younger Vanderbilt surpassed expectations. Under his stewardship, the family fortune not only survived, it doubled, and his leadership of the New York Central and related railroads expanded the family's influence to unseen heights. At the time of William's death, the family coffers had ballooned from $100 million under Father Cornelius to $200 million, equal to more than $6 billion today, at a time when there was no federal income tax within the United States. Yet, the narrative of the Vanderbilt fortune is not merely a tale of unbroken prosperity, and the family's story also features episodes of massive overspending and a generation-wide lack of financial focus. For example, William K. Vanderbilt, a son of William, along with his wife Alva, were particularly noted for their legendarily large expenditures. And Alva Vanderbilt played a crucial role in elevating the family into New York high society, spending vast sums in the process. One of her most extravagant undertakings was the 1883 ball celebrating their new Fifth Avenue mansion, which cost over $250,000, today equivalent to more than $8 million, just on one party. And though this event was a key part of Alva's years-long effort to cement the Vanderbilts' position in elite social circles, constant lavish soirees like this, over the decades, significantly drained their fortune. Moreover, in 1946, another child of William Henry Vanderbilt, Florence Adele Vanderbilt, had her extravagant lifestyle highlighted by Collier's magazine, noting that Vanderbilt owns 15 automobiles. She pays her chef $25,000 a year. Her butler has 4 footmen to assist him. Her New York mansion contains 70 rooms. At one of her country places, she employs more than 100 servants. In contrast, George Vanderbilt II, eventual builder of the Biltmore, took a more artistic path, though his spending was equally lavish. Born on the 14th of November 1862, George moved away from the family's traditional industrial pursuits, focusing instead on art, culture, and education. Thus, George's departure from his siblings' business pursuits led him to embark on an ambitious project, the construction of the Biltmore estate. In the 1880s, captivated by the scenic beauty and temperate climate of Asheville, North Carolina, George envisioned a grand estate that would embody his aesthetic and intellectual pursuits. And his choice to build in Asheville rather than follow the trend of opulent summer houses in Newport or Hyde Park marked a significant departure from family norms. Additionally, the name Biltmore itself reflected George's blend of personal heritage and regional inspiration. Combining de Bilt, referencing his Dutch ancestors, with Moor, an Anglo-Saxon term for moor, the estate would soon encompass a sprawling 125,000 acres of land, integrating over 700 parcels, including numerous farms and former community sites. And to bring his vision to life, George enlisted the expertise of renowned architect Richard Morris Hunt and legendary landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted. The mansion, perhaps the #1 symbol of the Gilded Age's opulence in America, reportedly cost $5 million to build, a sum equivalent to over $200 million today. George Vanderbilt's Biltmore estate opened its doors on Christmas Eve of 1895, hosting a select group of family and friends for a celebration that reflected both the grandeur and the intimacy of the Vanderbilt legacy. Soon the estate became a cultural hub, frequented by notable figures such as novelists Edith Wharton and Henry James, diplomats Joseph Hodges Choate and Lars Anderson, and U.S. presidents. And the estate's splendor was complemented by George's marriage to Edith Stuyvesant Dresser in 1898 in Paris. Their daughter, Cornelia Stuyvesant Vanderbilt, was born in 1900 in the estate's Louis XV room, growing up amidst the estate's grandeur. However, it would be the tumultuous private life of Cornelia Vanderbilt that would both put the Biltmore estate in danger of being lost to the family's control and serendipitously lead to the sprawling mansion being saved by Vanderbilts themselves in the coming decades. Cornelia Stuyvesant Vanderbilt's early years unfolded in the splendid setting of the Biltmore estate, reflecting an existence steeped in privilege and elegance. You see, as the sole child of George Washington Vanderbilt II and Edith Stuyvesant Dresser, Cornelia was the recipient of a childhood rich in cultural and intellectual pursuits, embarking on European tours that broadened her young horizons. But tragedy struck the Vanderbilt family in 1914 with the death of Father George Vanderbilt, leaving a 13-year-old Cornelia and her mother Edith to navigate the complexities of their vast estate. In a display of resolve and foresight, Edith sold about 86,000 acres of the estate to the United States Forest Service in 1917, coinciding with the introduction of income taxes in the United States on large Gilded Age families such as the Vanderbilts. But this strategic sale, aligning with her husband's passion for scientific forestry, a vision originally put forth by Frederick Law Olmsted, helped lay the groundwork for the Pisgah National Forest, securing the estate's legacy of environmental stewardship. Cornelia's personal life then took another significant turn in 1924, when she married John Francis Amherst Cecil, a member of British nobility. And their nuptials, a lavish ceremony at All Souls Church, followed by a reception at Biltmore House, were attended by notable figures of the time. Together, the couple navigated the managerial challenges posed by the Great Depression, and in a strategic response to a proposal from the city of Asheville, they opened the doors of Biltmore House to the public in 1930, hoping to invigorate the local economy through tourism. This decision heralded the estate's new role as a celebrated historic museum and a staple of cultural tourism. Yet, despite her deep ties to Biltmore and its legacy, Cornelia's journey with the estate concluded dramatically in 1934 when she divorced Cecil and relocated to Europe, severing her physical and managerial ties to the US. Despite this fact, ex-husband John Cecil remained in the mansion's bachelor's wing until his death in 1954, and the mantle of the estate then passed briefly to their eldest son, George Henry Vanderbilt Cecil, who lived there until 1956. Post-1956, Biltmore ceased to serve as a family home, transitioning entirely into a historic site managed by the Cecil brothers. William A.V. Cecil Sr., Cornelia's younger son, and the man we mentioned in the beginning of this video, returned in the late 1950s to join his brother in addressing the estate's financial challenges. Their collaboration aimed to fulfill their grandfather's vision of transforming Biltmore into a sustainable and profitable enterprise, thus continuing the Vanderbilt legacy in a new era. In the verdant foothills of Asheville, North Carolina, the Biltmore estate stands today as a lasting legacy of Vanderbilt ingenuity and vision, thanks to William Amherst Vanderbilt Cecil. Born on the 17th of August 1928, Cecil was not merely a custodian of his family's opulent residence, he was a visionary who reshaped it into a cultural and economic powerhouse. Son to Cornelia and John Francis Amherst Cecil, he spent his formative years abroad in England and Switzerland, returning to serve in the British Navy during the twilight of World War II. Cecil's academic journey then culminated at Harvard University, after which he ventured into finance, including a stint at Chase Manhattan Bank. But the marriage of Cecil to Mary Lee Ryan in 1957 is particularly notable due to Mary Lee's familial connection to Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis. You see, Mary Lee, affectionately known as Mimi, was a maternal first cousin of the former First Lady of the United States. Both women were granddaughters of James T. Lee, a prominent New York banker and real estate developer, and this connection ties the Vanderbilt family to one of the most iconic figures in American history, enhancing the significance of their union. By 1960, the Cecils had settled in Asheville with a clear objective: revitalize the ailing Biltmore estate. At that time, the estate was financially beleaguered, but William saw beyond the immediate challenges. He envisioned a self-sustaining operation, anchored in tourism and agriculture, which would not only preserve the estate's grandeur, but also secure its future. He achieved a significant milestone in 1963, when he secured the designation of the estate as a National Historic Landmark. Under his stewardship, the estate's financial foundation was strengthened through the diversification of its agricultural operations, starting with the dairy farm. Perhaps his most heralded achievement was the establishment of the Biltmore Winery in 1985, which turned into a national success, profoundly impacting the estate's financial health. Then, the 1990s saw a generational shift as William began to hand over the reins to his son and daughter, William A.V., Bill, Cecil Jr., and Deanie Pickering, who continued to innovate and expand. This era brought about significant additions, such as the Village Hotel and the Inn on Biltmore Estate, which offered guests luxurious stays amidst the estate's historical splendor. Moreover, the relationship between the Vanderbilt family and the estate's dedicated team has been pivotal. Figures like Steve Miller, a seasoned executive at Biltmore who now consults for family businesses, have been essential in maintaining the estate's operational and historical integrity. Their collaborative spirit ensures that Biltmore remains a vibrant, working estate, contributing significantly to Asheville's economy. Under the vigilant oversight of Bill Cecil Jr.'s children, Ryan and Aubrey, and Deanie Pickering's son, Chase, the future of Biltmore Estate looks robust. The younger Vanderbilts are ingrained deeply in the estate's day-to-day affairs, safeguarding the continuation of their familial heritage. Ryan Cecil, in his role as Director of Investments at Lioncrest Capital, deftly manages the estate's financial health and investment strategies, and his acumen in finance is pivotal in nurturing the estate's fiscal resilience and growth. Aubrey Cecil Belils takes charge of the attractions division, ensuring that the myriad visitor interactions uphold the lofty standards of their forebearers. Chase Pickering, on the other hand, revitalizes marketing strategies for the estate's hospitality services and elevates guest experiences at Antler Hill Village. This area, a favorite among visitors, offers a mix of dining, shopping, and access to the celebrated Biltmore winery. Furthermore, Deanie Pickering's foresight in drafting the family charter has been instrumental in preparing the fifth generation for their roles. This document delineates clear expectations and responsibilities for family members engaged in the business, promoting consistency and shared values. Complemented by biannual family gatherings that blend leisure with strategic discussions, these meetings have matured into a comprehensive family council. This council, inclusive of both family and select non-family advisors, offers diverse perspectives, crucial for informed decision-making. Thus, the proactive engagement of the younger Vanderbilts, underpinned by strategic planning and familial dedication, positions the Biltmore estate for continued prosperity. The collective commitment of the Cecil and Pickering families ensures the estate remains a symbol of history and luxury, captivating visitors for generations to come and preserving its status as a top-tier travel destination. And now, we'd love to see you in the comments. Have you been to the Biltmore estate in North Carolina? Or would you like to? We thrive as a channel off of your comments, so don't be shy and be sure to leave us your thoughts. With that said, thanks for joining us for another episode of Old Money Luxury, and cheers until next time.